Good morning, guys. Welcome to Talking About Sports with Rahman. Monday morning. I'm glad it came around pretty quickly because that game was on a Friday or Saturday night. Definitely would have affected my mood for the weekend. Just going back to that game, there were a lot of dubious calls in the last 10 minutes of the game, but I felt that Canberra were just too good in the end. Their defensive reads and their lines were actually fantastic. Throughout the game, there were a lot of niggly behaviour between both the sides. You could tell that both Canberra Raiders and the Warriors were up for this challenge. It really sucked having Fish and Barnett out. I felt that the middle edges would have been more impactful with those two players in the mix. But hey, James Fisher-Harris was silly the week before and copped that 1 week suspension. And Mitchell Barnett was selected for the New South Wales Origin, which kicks off on Wednesday night, Game 1 at Suncorp Stadium against the Maroons. That's going to be a tough game, and both sides will be looking to capitulate on what happened last year at Origin, with New South Wales actually winning that series. Fingers crossed for New South Wales for this year. I feel that they have a very good squad going into the Game 1. With a lot of potential new debutants, as well as some ex-stars, but also some of the stars that are actually from the clubs that are underperforming this season, etc. The Panthers have selected 3 or 4 big players from the Panthers who are actually at the bottom of the table. But anyways, there'll be an update on the State of Origin at some point later this week. Just getting back to the Warriors game that happened last night. Yeah, another heartbreaking game. Definitely on the edge of your seat. There were so many opportunities the Warriors could have actually scored in the last 15 minutes. I do definitely feel like Dallin Watene-Zelezniak definitely does need to have a cup game in the New South Wales reserve grade. Yeah, he's jamming in far too much on his edge, on the wing, and this is creating a lot of gaps, a lot of missed spaces for the boys to actually have to read that defensive play. Bunty Afara is definitely past his time. I don't know why the Warriors management keep him around. Yeah, he might be good for the team morale, etc., but his carries, his line speed are so slow to the point that basically they need to have at least 2 or 3 players going up with him when he gets that 10 or 15 meters on the 3rd or 4th play. What really surprised me the most last night was actually our 4th and 5th tackling options. Still feels like the Warriors are struggling in terms of their halves combination with Luke Metcalf and Chanel Harris-Tavita. But between the two there, I do feel that Luke Metcalf has some shades of Sean Johnson behavior in the way he plays his game style, but he can actually run the ball. The only thing that I feel like is lacking in his game is passing. He's got some great kicking skills. He is an instinctive player when he wants to be, very similar to Chanel Harris-Tavita, who I did feel was quite unlucky last night. He actually had a really good game. Coming back to Metcalf, I just feel like there was no moment of brilliance for my halves, and everyone was trying to actually be a glory hunter for the Warriors in the last 15 minutes. 2 standout players for me last night was definitely Kurt Capewell and Aaron Clark. I've been a massive fan of Aaron Clark this season, coming from the Gold Coast Titans and now slotting in with the Warriors. I think he's just a fantastic player. He knows how to get the wins. He grinds. He actually works fucking hard. And he's a power horse. And that combination with Barnett Fish, Marata Niukore, Aaron Clark, and Wade Egan, with a full string team, if they can get that going, they're going to be unstoppable. Just look at the 5-game win streak previous to this game just gone. Combinations were working. Hey, the wins haven't been pretty. Their only big win has actually been against the Newcastle Knights about a month ago. So I sit here wondering, when are the Warriors due for another big win? When is it coming? Or are they just getting lucky at the moment. Some fans have been saying, I feel the Warriors actually have not been getting lucky, and that they're obviously just stepping up to the plate, and either playing the opposition at their own level or taking it up a slight notch. There was also something in the media last night in terms of the commentary with the game that the Warriors are actually the best defensive team currently in the NRL. Hence why they sit in the top 4. But yeah, the boys are safe for another 3 weeks in the top 8, but they will not be thinking about that. They go into the South Sydney Rabbitohs game on Sunday at 4 o'clock this week. I'll just be straight up honest with you. I was very frustrated last night. For one, I had to rush back home and try and watch the game on my phone after work. That was eventful, but I got there in the end. Got the second half, which was great. But yeah, 4 o'clock game is going to be great. Right in the middle of finishing up work, so that'll be nice and chill. And I think, the Bunnies coming off a bye and previously winning against the Broncos and then dropping their game the week after. Yeah, they'll be fired up for that. Latrell Mitchell will be, fired up for this week. And good old Wayne Bennett versus Andrew Webster for the Sunday showdown. But if I just go back to last night's game, it's been 6 weeks that us fans have been on the edges of our seat. And, in the wet, in the cold, without 2 players, down by 6 isn't too bad. I've always thought that the Warriors, as well as other league sides, if they're playing at home, they have a +4 to 6 advantage. Just with, the fans of the crowd, the atmosphere, the whistle at times going the home way. But the boys were up 8-0. And it just goes to show that this competition is just so tough. It does hurt this morning, but not as bad as previous games. We could have got dicked at home, but losing by 6, I am not that disappointed. If anything, it was actually a positive. And we've lost twice to the side, and I have a feeling that if we face the Raiders again in the finals, either in the elimination, semis or prelim, or the grand final, I think the boys will undo the wrongs and get there. So here's hoping that we have a good couple of weeks in Aussie. We've got the Sharks following after the Rabbitohs, and then they come back home a week after the bye to face the Panthers, who will be looking to get back on track this week against the Eels, as far as I'm aware. That's going to be a good game at CommBank. Technically, it's a home game for the Eels, but the Panthers are currently playing at CommBank whilst their stadium gets renovated. So I'll keep tabs on that. I'll keep you posted. This time next week, you should have another update on hopefully the Warriors overcoming the South Sydney Rabbitohs. Cheer. Ka kite. Bye.